it's Just So Trish, and it is the last 12 weeks, or kind of the last trimester of homeschooling this year. So you notice I didn't name it week 25, and that's because we're going to take a break. So we're going to do a little recalibration of our year, and I'm going to tell you all about that. Here we go. Okay, so I know my last few videos for the last 2 months I seem overwhelmed. I'm really not overwhelmed. What it's come down to is when I started the year out with the curriculum that we used, it was based on the fact that I was in a coma of postpartum depression and anxiety, and I couldn't really function. So using the Christian Light Education is perfect for those times in your season. Not the only one you can use. There's about 2 or 3 other programs you could use that really are self-led, and if you are in whatever, like medically, mentally, emotionally, pregnant, new baby, you know, so it's like hand in hand. New baby, postpartum depression, hand in hand. I need something that self-propelled them along the way. And I think Christian Light Education is perfect. Well, I came through the thick of it in December, January. Like, having that month of Monarch was just awesome. But it's not where I want to stay, because it's kind of the same thing again. And so what I'm really getting into is the aspect is I'm coming out of that season, and I want to be back being interactive with my kids again and doing our curriculum. So it kind of puts me in a place where it's like, change up, what do we need to do, and where's our fit that we need? So that's what I feel like I'm at. So it kind of can come across as though being like, what is Trish doing in the middle of the year? And what it comes down to is me as mom is I'm no longer in need of that high structured curriculum, and it's time to go back to group learning and being interactive and doing more hands-on schooling. So because of that, I'm trying to, in one way, plan out the rest of my year, but in the other way, plan out next year also, and kind of making the path in which way we want to go. So I'm taking this week off. Don't tell the kids, they think they're kind of schooling. I'm going to make them stick to their Explode the Code online, to their math, extra math that we do for math drills, our Khan Academy online. So they're doing all their computer work. We'll be still using our big, can you see them? Those big things right there. I have gone shopping, so to all that are like, stop shopping, you were too late. I've already gone shopping, but that's okay. And I'm going to have a video about, like, do you need to wait till the end of the year, to the start of the new year, to buy curriculum, and the curriculum frenzy. And, you know, it's okay if it doesn't work, get rid of your curriculum or put it on the shelf. So I have a lot of videos I'm working on, especially as we're coming into homeschool convention season and, like, preparing the way to plan out your curriculum. So I'm doing that. One thing I am contemplating, I kind of hinted, well, I made one. I love it so much. I actually am loving the size in it. I will tell you, I'm not 100% if I'm going to use this or stick to this. But what I decided to do was, instead, my last 12 weeks I will do in here. And if it works out well, then I won't purchase another one of these. So that's the way it's going. I've kind of been combing YouTube, finding different ways. But one of the ways I've planned out so far is I would put our group work on one page for the week. And that's covering writing, science, history, English, and Bible. Ooh, I don't have a full one. And then doing more of a checkoff list. The cat is crying at the door. And doing more of a checkoff list of stuff we've got going on. So this is a draft. And I figured I would lay it out that way. And one of the things I'm sticking to, and I plan to stick to, is just, we work this many minutes on this. We work this many minutes. Instead of being, you have to do a lesson, and being so caught up. And one of the videos I plan to put out here soon is how to ruin even the most perfect curriculum. Because I can do that. keeping it very enjoyable. I hate to say enjoyable because that can be taken so many different ways. But working on just getting us laid out for the next 12 weeks. I'm going to talk to you about the way I'm moving our curriculum since we're leaving box curriculum. I'm also, if you've noticed, like the bookshelf is always changing behind me because I'm really working on and creating a homeschool room in the house, which I never planned to do. And I'm going to tell you why we will not be moving out to the schoolhouse. So we've got that going on. Anyway, so I have a lot of things going on, and I figured I would take this week to kind of get ourselves organized, get into the idea. I've been drafting ideas in my head for the last few months, 2 months, and ready just to kick the last 12 weeks. And just taking, and I've been talking about like just biting off one semester at a time. And I was in a conversation over there at the Mommy Life, and Miss Mahogany jumped in, and I was like, 12 weeks. 12 weeks, that is the perfect amount. Not biting off 16, because I feel like planning out 36 weeks of school is overwhelming, and at week 18 is no guarantee where you were at week 1. And maybe your needs change, maybe your desires change, maybe life changes. And so I was like, well, I could do 16 weeks at a time doing my planning. And but it still feels like a big chunk of time and weeks to plan out. And then I thought about 6 weeks. There's somebody that does 6 weeks. They call it Sabbath year schooling. So they do 6 weeks on, 1 week off, 6 weeks on, 1 week off. But there's like no break. And I felt like when I looked at that idea, and I've done some of that in the past, is, man, every 6 weeks I'd have to carve out a chunk of time to plan out the next 6 weeks. And I just felt like that was a lot of work to do. So that seems too frequently. So does 9 weeks. 9 weeks feels a bit frequent also to do it by quarters. And so we were talking to Miss Mahogany's just like, you know what? 12 weeks. We're planning our next 12 weeks. So I actually will put that video in here. Card there at the Mommy Life. And she's talking about she's just laying out her next 12 weeks. So I'm going to kind of spend time doing that. And I'm like, 12 weeks is a great amount of time. It's really, that is for me a more manageable time. Maybe I'll come to find out that it's really not, and I need to stick to like 8 weeks. We have been using Easy Peasy right now for history and science. So I'm going to have a whole nother video about things I'm contemplating and layouts of the year, the rest of the year, and how I'm going to divide up my subjects. But we've been doing science together. We've been doing history and science together. And one of the things we've been doing is year 1, Easy Peasy, and science. And so it's talking about the human body and doing skin. I will tell you, I've had no interest in doing anatomy for some reason. I'm just like, I don't want to do that. That's not sounds fun. But we're kind of doing it a very Charlotte Mason kind of style with notebooking. And so we did it, and we've been studying the skin. And so we have made an edible model I found on Pinterest, and it's really nice because it gives me just enough room in the curriculum to go do a little self-searching, but at the same time, if I don't have that in me, running off of Easy Peasy is whole and complete. So I really, really like that. But anyway, so we made a skin model. So here it is. Not here it is. Here it is. Here it is. This is our model of skin that we did. We did it off Pinterest. It's our edible model. And we did this based on Pinterest. Of course, I didn't read the directions. So there is the dermis, the bottom, so the little cells. And then these are all the different layers. And then the fruit roll-up acts as the epidermis. And then we use Twizzlers as the hair coming out. So things to note when the Jell-O is cold, and I did an extra packet of gelatin in there. So that's why it's got a gummy. Once we put, do you hear how that sounds like plastic? Once we put the fruit roll-ups on there, it became hard. It hardened up real quick. So we had to stick holes in there to put the hair. My skin model. So the kids had a great time, and it was Jell-O, and it was a mess. So it was fun. Homeschool Monday videos. I want to change Homeschool Monday videos up a little bit to having question and answers kind of thing. So whatever you question me in this video, next week I will try to address it, if that makes sense. So doing more question and answers for the week, and then kind of dividing out. And if I've talked about like, oh, I'll do a video on that, and I haven't got to a video, I haven't made a video of it, leave me a comment and remind me, and I will get a video. I will get that video I promised out. If it's a good question that you have given me, it might lead and spur into its own video. But I will do the best I can. And remember, my curriculum is only perfect for me. It may very well work for you, but it doesn't mean that it works for everybody. And that's like the really cool part about homeschooling. So, anyways, so any questions you have, let me know. It's over here, isn't it? Let me know, and I will do my best to answer them next week. And we will be starting week 1. And I will probably get to you before then, and I will talk about where we are going in our curriculum. What are we doing for Bible, and what are we doing for math, and what are we doing for reading, writing, language arts, and spelling. What are we doing for history? What are we going to do for science? And what are we doing for anything else extra? So I will have a video for the last trimester, trimester 3 coming in. So that's, and I'm still excited. I'm only putting off the end by a week. And I'm also dealing with addressing holes that we have not addressed for the year. And that's another video I'm putting out, is how to fill gaps in your homeschool year. So I'll talk to you later. Peace out.